Let me go ahead and start that. Okay, so welcome to tonight's gathering, our presentation, and thank you, Felicia, for organizing this. Again, we're here tonight to answer questions, to inspire healthy living, and to equip you with some helpful tools and tips to reduce the stress, especially right now around the holidays, but to equip you with and empower you with the with with feeling to be back in control of your health. And so we have a couple of things that we're going to share tonight, a couple of vehicles that we wanted to share, and appreciate your time jumping in here. So first of all, I wanted to share a little bit about myself. The reason why I'm here tonight is because Felicia and I, we've met over the past a little over a year, and have been friends ever since. And my health journey is similar, parallel, but it started way back in the classroom. So I used to be a classroom teacher. I taught human anatomy and physiology for the good part of about almost 15 years here in where I grew up in my hometown of Dublin. I have been teaching biologies and chemistries and all the stuff about the human body in terms of you are what you eat. But unfortunately, I wasn't actually living that, right? I never actually took that to heart. Just by show of hands, how many of you have heard that phrase before? You are what you eat. You heard that? Yeah. So you may have heard that. You may have even said it before. And I think the problem is that most of us, while we've heard it, we don't actually know what it means, or we don't actually literally think that it's possible, and it is. Once I started shifting into realizing that what every single cell of my body, every single tissue that I am made of is literally made of what I have put in my mouth. And so we're gonna do a little something here. Go ahead and take your skin on your fingers or your hand, the back of your hand, and go ahead and pinch that. And as you're pinching that, this is what you ate 28 days ago. Okay, so if you were to literally look at your calendar 28 days ago and see, where did I go for lunch that day? What did I eat for dinner? Was it Burger King? Was it pizza? Was it celery? That is what you are literally touching right now, because if I ate a burger, right, and fries, then those molecules are being broken down and putting back into the order that makes skin. Same thing happens to your bones, just on a longer scale. And so once I started taking that to heart and learning about the reality of you are what you eat, then I turned to nutrition. I turned to food. And so now what I do is I empower people to look at what their food choices, their lifestyle choices, and not to be a victim of their genetics. 80% of chronic disease can be thwarted or even reversed using healthy lifestyle. And most of that is nutrition, what we put in our body. And so now I empower other people to do that. And like Felicia, we are out on a mission, and we are helping to support other people with getting what they need in their bodies, so it can help with brain performance, so it can help with your heart performance, your bone health, and specifically, Felicia, I know that pregnancy is a huge part of your life, and at the end of the day, pregnancy is performance, and what we put in our mouth is food, not just for taste, but for function. And so functional food is what we're in the business of. And it is something that's very rewarding, because the people's lives that we see change, whether it is because they are feeling younger and reversing their aging, or they are recovering from cancer, or they're wanting to reverse their diabetes, just all sorts of great things that making healthy lifestyle changes can support. So I want to turn it over to Felicia, and she's going to share a little bit about why she decided to jumpstart her journey with our mission-driven model.
Thank you, Henry. So my journey started 7 years ago. I started learning the power of, like what Henry said, you are what you eat. And I was using my body as my own really science experiment of understanding that when I ate these type of foods, fast food, stuff with high fats, like I had a lot of lower energy, brain fog. But then I also would, eat healthy. I'd go back and forth. And I noticed that eating more fruits and vegetables, it was linked to having more energy. And really fast forward to a year and a half, Henry introduced me into functional food called plant powders. And I had been taking a multivitamin pretty much, all those 7 years. But once the plant powders were introduced to me, I realized that it's really not necessary for me to eat multivitamins, but only to eat what God has put onto this earth, and that's fruits and veggies. So I although don't have like a miraculous story of, you know, curing my cancer or, not going into remission or whatever, but I will say that it's put me in a position to be in community with people who have a like mind of wanting to better their health. And I think that's the most important thing. Like, I'm not perfect, so nobody's perfect, but I'm like you said, I'm here to inspire and to educate because of the power of what plants can do for your body.
Awesome. Thanks, Felicia. And I know Phil has an incredible story too. And if we have time later on, if you want to share that, you can as well. But I'm going to go ahead and jump into, I know Felicia has mentioned several times to several of you guys about a product that we fully believe that supports every single body system that you have, and it's called Juice Plus. And so I'm going to share my screen here. This is the power of fruits and vegetables in a capsule is what we like to call it. And little thumbs up if you can see my screen. I want to make sure that everyone can see that. Good? Okay. All right. So you might be wondering a little bit about like frequently asked questions that we get all the time is, what is it? Is it juice? What does it do for me? Like how much does it cost and all that kind of stuff. And so first wanted to jump into, the reason why we look at this so intently is because disease is running rampant all over the world. And you can see these statistics here and the journals that have highlighted heart disease and cancer, diabetes. And we look back 20, 30 years ago and their like childhood cancer did not exist. And now we have entire hospitals devoted to kids that have cancer, and obesity is running rampant in our world. And a lot of it is contributed to poor diet. Two problems that we look at specifically are the increasing toxins in our waterways, in our foods. And you can see this graphic shows there's all sorts of different things that contribute to that, whether it's landfills, trash pollution, runoff from farmland, combustion, all sorts of things. In addition to, not only are we increasingly exposed to toxins, but our food quality that combats those toxins is decreasing. And so you can see here, most of our food has preservatives and flavors, artificial colors, and our fillers, pesticides and herbicides. And so because we are not getting the nutrients that we should be getting in our food, then a lot of people turn to synthetic vitamins. And these are synthetic, fractionated, isolated, vitamins. And so this is something that is not just isolated to America, right? But worldwide, most of our produce ends up losing its nutrients before it gets to you, because it's traveled thousands of miles, whether it's coming from another country. Here, specifically in Ohio, where I am, um, you know, 70% of the food, the fresh produce in different stores are are shipped from overseas. And so how many thousands of miles and time has passed by where that nutrients has been depleting since it was picked, even before it was vine ripened. And out of the 30% of produce here in Ohio that is not from other countries, 90% of that comes from the West Coast. Because like right now, it's too cold to produce any type of food outside. And most of our fields are corn, right? And that's used for feed, not for humans. And so the recommended daily dose of fruits and vegetables now is 7 to 13 servings. And that's just for a normal person. If you are an athlete, if you are performing at a higher level, meaning like pregnancy, for instance, right? That means you need to get more than 13 servings of fist size servings of fruits and vegetables in your daily diet. And the truth is, it's so difficult to do that. Even if you are the healthiest eater on the planet, you would agree that eating healthy is challenging. And so that's why we use something called Juice Plus. Juice Plus is a whole food. It is non-GMO. It is certified with NSF certification, which is higher than even or certified organic. It is gluten-free. It is completely vegan. And it is fruit powders, oils, and powders that are encapsulated to deliver a powerful punch to your blood and to the rest of your organ systems. And you can see these are the 11 fruits that you can eat on a daily basis, the 11 vegetables, the 12 berries, and all the different oils. This is something that would be super expensive if you were to chop and buy all this produce on a daily basis. In fact, I have a friend who went out and bought all this produce and chopped it and put it into the quantities that this is delivered on a daily basis. And it costs about $90 to put all this together yourself. And so, not to mention all the time that it would take in order to get all of these on a daily basis. And so you deserve more, right? You deserve to do the things that you want to do, to spend time with your kids, to be able to prioritize your time with your family, with your spouse, with your work, and not have to worry about all the chopping and figuring out where all your food is going to come from. And so the benefits that you see from this are cardiovascular, our immune system, anti-inflammatory, and all of this is backed by clinical research. And I'll show you a little bit about that. And you can certainly get back to the person who invited you here later to look at some of that research. But this is not medicine. And so when we eat our Juice Plus, and we say eat because you take vitamins, you take medicine, but you eat food. And that's what this is. You eat food, and supports every single organ system in the body, not just one system or not just a symptom. Because medicine, a lot of times, if I am feeling pain, medicine will just take away the pain, but it doesn't actually get to the root cause, the root source of the pain. So as soon as the medicine wears off, then the pain still comes back because of the source is still there. So what we do is we get to the root cause of that source. There's also another product that is similar to the capsules. Instead of powders in the capsule, it's in the form of a chewable. And Felicia can speak to this even better than I can, because she has a child already that consumes this on a daily basis. So I'm going to turn it over to Felicia so she can share a little bit more about the chewables.
So it's not just for adult or children, it's for adults too. Because I do know a lot of adults who don't or can't swallow capsules. But I will say that these are probably the most delicious gummies I've ever had. And my daughter loves them too. So children can get the veggie and the fruit for free with a adult order, and it doesn't have to be a child of your own. It can be any, you can sponsor any child, a niece, nephew, but as long as they're under the age of 26. But okay, go ahead. So you have capsules, gummies, and then one of the newest lines that Juice Plus has is omegas. So good thing about these omegas is they go straight to the source, so that they're sustainable. And omegas, I don't know if either one of you guys eat fish oil, but this is all plant source, so it's vegan. So the omegas actually come from algae, and that's why we eat fish oil, is because the algae has the omegas in it. So this goes straight to the source and extracts the algae oil. And omegas are good for heart health, vision, brain function. Yeah, like I said, vegan, non-GMO, and most importantly, NSF certified. So the capsules are from family partners, and they are harvested peak ripeness. So what Henry was talking about, the most produce is picked before it's at its peak, and it doesn't have all the nutrients that could potentially have in it. But these are peak ripened and then quickly froze, and then are dried. And well, before they're dried, they're blended into a puree. They remove the water and then dried. And then they encapsulate them into vegan capsules. That way, all of the nutrients in it is dense, and it's preserved. Well, not the preserve that we know of, but it's high quality nutrients. And then you are good at clinical research, so.
Yeah, I'm a research junkie. Coming from the classroom, I teach all my students to look at the primary source. What is a reliable source? And it's not just hearsay. Testimonies are great, right? Out of all the confusing health stuff out there these days, it's truly confusing because you hear stuff like, oh, it will help you sleep better, and it grows wings and helps you fly. And so testimonies are great, but they don't stand alone. Here, we are the most thoroughly researched product on the entire planet. In fact, if you were to ask Siri or Alexa, what is the most thoroughly researched nutritional product on the entire planet, then all the articles, all these clinical research about Juice Plus would come up. There's no other company or product out there that even comes close to the body of research that shows Juice Plus reduces inflammation, that it is completely 100% bioavailable, absorbed into the body, right into the blood. In fact, if you were to take an antioxidant test and look at the antioxidants that are present in your tissues, then, and you can actually do this at many chiropractors have this device, and you can touch the actual antioxidant reading, and you can see after eating Juice Plus that there's tons of antioxidants present in the actual tissue itself, not just floating around in your pee or your blood. This is performed by tons of universities around the entire world, not just the US, and I'll name a couple of these here. You may recognize Yale University. You may have heard of MD Cancer Hospital, or the University of Brigham Young in Florida, Maryland. They study this in Australia, in Austria, in Toronto, Medical University of Tokyo. And it's all third-party, peer-reviewed, gold standard, double-blind placebo tested, mind you, right? So that means The doctor doesn't even know who is eating the placebo and who's eating the actual Juice Plus, so they can't even be biased when they are making the diagnosis. And so, what does it show? The research shows that it's good for every single system in the body. And if you were to look at the actual research, and you can actually go to Felicia's website, you can go to Phil's website, you can go to my website, you can go to the clinical research and read the actual raw data, the clinical research that shows, like lung health, for instance, that when you're eating Juice Plus, then the mucous membranes inside the lung allows you to get more oxygen through into the blood and more carbon dioxide to be expelled, that's expiratory flow, out of your lungs. With your metabolism speeding that up and reducing the abdominal fat mass, your gut health and correcting all of the microbiome in there. But one of my favorites that I work with is the cognitive function. Check this out. So there are 3 tests that were performed on people before they took Juice Plus or ate Juice Plus, and after they ate Juice Plus, and it showed that they showed a significant increase in cognitive processing speeds, executive functioning, better working memory, and sharper attention span. And so, who doesn't want to have better memory? Who doesn't want to have better cognitive processing, right? And then they did a washout period where they switched, and so you have the people who were eating placebo that didn't even know that they now eat the Juice Plus, and they did the same 3 tests, and that's what it showed. And so, brain performance, physical performance, mental performance, all of the above is what this ends up affecting. There is also another study that is not a clinical study, but a study that is a survey form over the past 20 years. There have been over 2 million kids that have received Juice Plus for free, and I'm going to turn it over to Felicia to share some of the results of that survey study.
I just want to make you aware that there's time limit. Okay. So with this survey, parents have so they've taken the survey and then returned it back to Juice Plus, and the findings are children were more likely or were eating more fruits and vegetables. They were visiting the doctor less, drinking more water, fewer missed days of school, consuming less fast food and soft drinks, and taking less prescription drugs. It's a struggle to get my daughter to eat more fruits and veggies, and it still is, I'll be honest, but I have less stress and anxiety knowing, at least she's getting, the nutrients that she needs. So this is a complete plant-based powder, and it is derived from soy, but it's non-GMO soy. And there's functions to use this plant protein powder. It's not just for shakes. I use it in pancakes and energy bites, but vegan, low glycemic index, only 10 grams of sugar. Go ahead. And then this is really the 6th product, actually the newest one. Juice Plus is known for not having a whole array of different products. They're very focused and strict on, what it is that they're good at. And so the complete is something that you can drink on a daily basis, but this is also good for athletes to enhance performance, I guess hence the name, but also vegan, GMO or non-GMO, NSF certified, all plant-based. Honestly, I love to mix the 2 together and make a smoothie out of it. Complete and a scoop of the Perform. You don't have to go through too much of this.
If you do want to learn more about the Tower Garden, it's another tool that we have, and you can certainly get back to the person who invited you.
It looks like what is behind him. There's like, if you guys see behind Henry, that's what a full Tower Garden looks like. You can grow your own produce.
And so, again, we wanted to answer any questions that you guys have. A common question is, what is Juice Plus? It's not a place on the corner of that you can buy a juice and drink it from the gym. It is plant-based. It's not even plant-based. It is plants, powders, oils, concentrates, and we are the first-in-class leading model of the world, and we have a name out there now that is going to be known like the Amazon of fruit powders and veggie powders. It's a proven model. It is something that that provides community and accountability and encouragement for people who are wanting to jumpstart their health. It's all over the world, and so 28 countries now, and over a 50-year business that has been around. So it's got longevity, it has validity, and it has research to back it up. And we can share more about the business model if you're interested in that too. If you know some other people that would be supported, whether it's heart health or pregnancy or brain health, or anything above. And so, just want to end on this last slide here. There's a couple different options. There's the even before this, right? You can continue doing what you're doing, and if that's working, great. And if you want to make a change, then you can come join us by trying out some of the products. It's 100% money back guarantee. It is it's a very low risk, no risk. If it doesn't meet your expectations, then of course we'll help you through that, or you can just return everything. And that's so encourage you to either become a customer, or if you want to share it with a few people, then it makes sense. If it makes sense to become a partner, then you can automatically start earning back some cash back on your customers, including your own, because you're your own customer. Or you can earn some extra income. And so whether that's an extra, $500, $1,000, an extra whatever to supplement your income that you have currently, you can go all the way to the top. And that's what I've decided to do with my time, with my encouragement, is to really insert as this mission into as many people's health journey as possible. So I'm going to stop my screen share. You can probably hear some of the kids screaming in the background. I'm actually here with my nephews and nieces, which all eat Juice Plus. They've been eating that ever since they were 6 months. So if they come into the room, then maybe they'll share about how they take the capsules and open them up and put them in oatmeal every morning. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Felicia, did you have anything to add, or do you want to open up to questions?
No, I mean, I enjoy feedback. So the biggest thing is, like, if you have questions, and then also what you liked and what you didn't like. And
of course, we want to thank you again for taking the time to jump on here and learning. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording, and then we'll open it up to questions.